Okay, what is going on, everyone? Somebody but nobody here. This is the SBN Lifestyle. Welcome to my channel. The reason I am doing this video, hell is nothing but a fear tactic to get you and I to believe. The reason I want to say this to people is because I know how damaging it is when we are younger and we are told, certain religious, things by our parents and our family members. And, a lot of us, we were raised with this stuff. And I know for me, the reason that I at one time dove into God and I started to read the Bible and I started praying and other things is because I didn't want to go to hell. Because this concept of hell that is pounded in our brains. And it's, to me, the whole concept of hell is completely absurd. It's completely ridiculous. And I know if you're somebody that's watching this and you go by the Bible and you call yourself a Christian and other things, I know you may not listen because your ego and pride is so intertwined in one book and what it says and what you think that you believe that, you really won't hear logic and understanding about things. And I have a lot of older videos. I got a video named Is Hell Real? It's in my older videos. And I got a bunch of other videos on these topics. But how could you even sit here and think? And I'm doing this video for people that have been damaged by this bullcrap. That's why I'm doing this. I'm doing this for y'all because I now know that it's bullcrap. And if there is such a place, then God is the most cruel and sadistic being that there ever is, because it doesn't matter what you and I did on this earth. It could be the most horrible crime. I mean, yeah, there should maybe be a punishment for the things that we did, as to be a just cause. Whatever I do to something should be done back to me, really, if we want to talk about just things. But there is no thing that we do that is immoral on this planet that we should burn forever, or the worm should eat away at us forever, or us be in a totally dark, pitch black place and suffering for the rest of eternity. It's just absolutely crazy. And there's so many people, they have this in their mind and they think that this is real. And they're bashing their brains in with this every day. And it just, I won't allow it. I won't allow it. I don't care if people say, oh, well, you're not God and all this. No, I know I'm not God if there's a God. But, it's just crazy because I went through this stage where I thought that this stuff was for real. Like, I really, really thought it was real, and it was a reality, and I can tell myself now, after years and years and years of, telling myself that this is absurd, asking questions and actually doing my own research into things and looking at the situation for what it really is. So here's what I want to ask all of y'all. You have family members, right? You have sons, daughters, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, grandparents. whatever you have, and say you care for one of them, and say they went and killed a couple people and they didn't repent and they died. So they're going to hell forever. And let me ask you something. If you were God, would you put your family members or your friends or your son or daughter, brother, sister, mother, father, grandparents, would you put them in hell? Would you put them in a place where they suffer forever and ever and ever? No, I don't think you would. And if you do say you would, this is because your fear is controlled so much by this lunacy that you say, oh, well, if that's God's plan, I have no say what God does to somebody. You see, this is the pure lunacy of it. This is the complete lunacy of it, And I'll just put this out there because I want you to understand this. I really want y'all to understand this. My brother Earl died in 2016 of an OD, because he just couldn't get his life together. I couldn't get my life together. A lot of my family couldn't get their life together. And it was a miserable and hellish time on earth for him and all of us. We all got caught up in the drugs. And he just couldn't get it together. And, one day he went and got some heroin and he did too much. And he OD'd and he died. So I'm supposed to think that my brother is in hell burning for eternity because he was yelling and screaming for help and he couldn't stop, because of all these crazy things that was going on in life that he just couldn't seem to break away from. And I don't know if I would have broke away if he wouldn't have died. I'll be truthfully honest with you. Because I was screwed up. I was screwed up. Real bad. Real bad. Y'all have no idea how screwed up I was. And there's a lot of people that get like this. I'm not the only person. And then a year and a half ago, my Uncle Tim, he died. Well, no, he didn't die. He did too much heroin. Like all of us were doing at one point. It could have been any of us. It could have been me that died, and he could be sitting here talking to you. But he died a year and a half ago. He was in a coma for 7 or 8 days, and my grandfather had to pull the plug on him. Rest in peace to my Uncle Tim and my brother Earl, and anyone who OD'd on drugs, because there's a lot of families that are going through this nonsense, and it's not nonsense in the terms of what you may be thinking I'm saying, but it's completely crazy that there's so many people that they're crying out for help and get me through this. Just let me live, let me be content and be satisfied with what I got, and just let me do what it is that I like to do in life and be free and be natural with it. That's why I always say that. But, I'm supposed to think that because they supposedly died in their sins, quote, in their sins, but I don't see it like that. See, I don't see it like that. I don't see sin as how people label sin. I see sin sometimes as people crying out for help and people saying, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get out of this. And what do? They go to the drugs. That's what I did to dull the pain of a concussion I had a long time ago. I did drugs because of that. And then I did drugs because of other reasons. Because I wanted to dull out things that I didn't want to think about. And it just put me even more into a hellish situation. I already went through a hellish situation. So for me to think that I'm going to go through hell here on earth for a little and then die and go to another place of torment and suffering is absolutely insane. It's absolutely crazy to think that. So a lot of you, like I said, you still think that this stuff is real. You still think that this stuff is a reality. It's not reality. These beliefs are not a reality. And there's a saying that you are not your beliefs. And so many people don't understand this. They will get offended when you come at their beliefs. But like I said before, the only thing we should be believing in is reality, is right now. And what can I do right now to help someone else? What can I do right now to help my own life? What can I do right now to just do what I do what I like doing, not hurt nobody in the process, just be what I'm going to be and let it flow? That's what we should be thinking about. You know, and I tell you this because this stuff is still in my mind. This stuff is still in my mind from years and years and years ago, from what my family and people that I knew told me, because somebody told them when they were younger, and then somebody told them when they were younger, and it got passed down from generation to generation. And I see it as a curse. I see it as a total, absolute curse. But on the other hand, it made me see a lot of things. So I call it a curse on one hand, but then on the other hand, it made me see a lot of what I wasn't and what I didn't want to do in my life. And how I didn't want to live, and things that I didn't want to think of, because I knew a lot of stuff was crazy and absurd and was just totally out there. You see, it's the contradiction that I'm talking about here again. You know, on one hand, it's a curse, but then on the other hand, it's like I'm kind of glad that it happened. As crazy as that may sound. You know, it's the constant irony of life. And this is just one of them. This is just one of them. I could go on and on and on. There's thousands of ironies, you know, maybe hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of ironies in this world. And that's why, even though this is very dangerous and the concept of hell is ridiculous, it actually helped me to get out of the bullcrap that I was thinking. You see, it's really weird. I can't explain it to you, but it helped me go from here to here to here to here to here, where I'm at now. You know, it was like a roller coaster of contradiction and asking questions and, you know, this just can't be, you know, this ain't reality, you know, I just can't go for this, you know, so, and like I said, I can go on and on about this. I mean, I could talk about this stuff for hours, but I don't want to, you know, overdo it in my videos. But just think about this, you know, if you're still thinking that this stuff is real, all you're doing is you are damaging your psychological state. You're just damaging yourself so bad. And, you know, I know there's some people that it's kind of like they cannot let go of it. They can't stop thinking about it. And I was at that point one time where I couldn't stop thinking about doom and gloom and so many crazy, just crazy stuff. And it still pops up once in a while. And then I have to talk about it on these videos. I'm just skimming through YouTube and I'm watching videos, and I just hear so many people that they talk about, what they think is their God and what they think is going to happen when we die, what they think is the answer, what they think is the right and wrong and left and right and back and forth thing to do. And I keep telling people, assuming is probably one of the most dangerous things that we can do, is to assume something, because you can end up blaming someone for something that they didn't even do. You can end up pointing the finger at someone that didn't even do something. You can end up getting it absolutely wrong, and it can only take one little moment or one little event to absolutely change the rest of your life because you assumed something was real that wasn't real. So there's nothing I can do to get this out of your mind but tell you a little bit of what I went through myself. Whether that will help you or not, I don't know. I always tell you all this. I don't know, but I got to keep talking about my own stuff and getting my own stuff out, and may this be a reflection unto you to do the same. That's all I ask. So with that, if you liked the video, please thumbs up. If you didn't subscribe and you like my channel, please subscribe. I got a lot more stuff on the way with the music thing. I am building up my, my brand and me as an individual musician and artist right now. I put out these little things here and there, but those aren't even my, so-called good projects. What is good to people? I don't know, but that's coming along slowly. I want to get into making more videos and a whole bunch of other things. I got so much stuff that I want to do, and when I do it, I want to give it to you, and then maybe you'll do something. I don't know, but anyway, I'm the type of person that I really don't have any patience. I'm not a patient guy, but I've been wanting to do this for so long. For 20 years, I've been wanting to make music and put it out, and do poetry and put it out. And I don't even put 1/100th of my poetry on this channel. I just do these little things where I mess around once in a while. But this is what I'm doing all day, y'all, and that's why I tell y'all, if you don't know about the arts, maybe just give it a chance and dive into it and give it a chance, because I neglected art for so many years and I kind of shunned away from it, and then I totally dove back into it again, and it's honestly the only thing that keeps me going. If I didn't have art, I don't know what I would do. If I didn't have music and art and these videos and y'all listening to my videos, I don't know what I would do. I really don't. So with that, more's to come. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Later.